Hello everybody.
Start again.
Hello everybody.
Hello.
My name's Darren.
I'm Graham.
And we are about to talk about X-Men Days of Future Past.
Are we?
Yeah.
Alright.
Tell us the story of it quickly.
The story of X-Men Days of Future Past.
Yes,
Basically,
quicker.
future robots kill future X-Men. The X-Men go back to before the robots were made and built and thought of. Technically he does, technically he doesn't.
He does.
Technically he doesn't. And tries to stop the fact that these robots are getting made.
Yeah, he tries to stop the robots killing them before they're even...
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. And he has to do this by stopping Mystique killing a midget. And he has to stop her by recruiting Magneto and Professor X as young chappies to, convince her otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. What did you think?
Really, really great.
Oh yeah,
just really, really fun to watch.
I know it was more than fun to watch for me. It was like
not everything's a competition. We always start these things.
You're so insecure. It's unbelievable.
I give an opinion, and you're just like, yes, well, my opinion is better than yours by one.
I can't help if I'm better than you, and you can help but be insecure. So change yourself.
Change yourself. So what did you like about X-Men?
Oh God, where did
Days
it
of
start?
Future Past.
Yeah, I know. Well, to give you the blurb, it started when I was about 4, and I watched the Marvel, X-Men series in the 90s.
Quicker.
I am. This is honestly relevant. It's not. So I've loved the X-Men since then. And then the films came out when I was like 11 and 12, like the first one. I was
this
like,
is
this
not
is
about
amazing.
you. This is about the film.
Let me get to the point. So then the first one came out, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I had all the toys from when I was a kid. Second one came out.
About you.
This is even better. Then the third one came out, and I was like, what the fuck is this? This is just fucking shit.
Yeah.
And then X-Men Origins, and I was like, ugh. And then the Wolverine, alright. First Class, alright. And then Days of Future Past, still had X-Men 3. The problem with X-Men 3 in my heart, with all that crap about Cyclops dying off screen, because it's not like he's a main character. And Professor X just popping like a fucking balloon. And then, well, we can't really talk about the end of X-Men Days of Future Past, but put it this way, I feel better about the last 10 years now. When X-Men 3 came out, I was supposed to be revising for my GCSEs, but I thought a better use of my time would be to plot out a potential X-Men 4 and how to solve all those problems.
Direct quote from a Demon's Voice blog.
Yeah, everything I'm saying from me is a direct quote.
I suppose it would be.
So I just want to get
I'm
across
not saying it's on original.
How much emotion I had invested into this film, because it's Bryan Singer returning to the franchise and being able to correct all the crap that's gone before, and how cathartic it was when he did correct it. However, he did whatever he did. No spoilers. So that's what I think. I think that it's my second favourite film of the year.
Wow.
I know. So far, Dick Calvary.
Dick Calvary.
Dick Calvary. Agent of Chaos. But yeah.
Agent of Chaos.
Also, I think it's really good because, like, in every X-Men movie you stick Wolverine in, he becomes the main character, even though it's supposed to be like an ensemble.
Yeah.
I think this one actually feels like an ensemble. I'm just as interested in James McAvoy's smackhead Professor X.
Yeah.
Before he becomes a slaphead. Little heads and begins with S, I noticed. Smackheads and Slapheads. That could be the name of his autobiography. Him and Michael Fassbender's Magneto.
Yeah.
So, and even, what's her name? Jennifer Lawrence with her big blue tits. Like the bird, but more titty. Anyway, so what did you think?
Yeah, samesies.
Samesies.
Ditto. Just thought it was really great. A lot of fun. A lot of movement on screen, colours.
Yeah, usually Mystique jumping up at someone and grabbing them in between her legs via the head and then snapping their neck. I can't think of a better way to go. I would certainly die with a smile on my face.
Yeah. Maybe we can arrange that for you.
I would love it.
The Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Yeah. I'm not dying, but that is my final wish.
That'd be the method of death, so...
Yeah, I would like to have my neck snapped by Jennifer Lawrence's thighs. Put that on my grave. That'll be fine. Tombstone. But it was really good. Anything to say?
I liked... what's his name? The little person.
The one is Kara's name or his real name?
Tyrion. What's his name?
Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage.
Who's Tyrion?
That's his name in Game of Thrones, isn't it?
I don't watch it.
Neither do I.
Thank God we're bringing up references that were so...
It might not be his name.
Well, it's definitely Peter Dinklage.
Okay, well, I like Peter Dinklage.
Me too.
Thought he was good. That's
What's your favourite scene in the film?
That's it.
Well, I think there's one thing that we could mention. Quicksilver.
It's a bit of a hot topic, really, isn't it?
Why is that a hot topic?
Because of the whole casting choices and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's going to get confusing because basically we've got a character called Quicksilver in X-Men Days of Future Past who is played by Kick-Ass's best friend from Kick-Ass, but in the Avengers next year we've also got Quicksilver played by Kick-Ass, not Kick-Ass's best friend who's Quicksilver in this one. Does that make sense? It's not the same character, even though it is the same character. I mean, I think that it's going to be slightly different because in X-Men Days of Future Past he plays Peter, but in Avengers I think he plays Pietro. Pietro. Yeah.
Cool. So
he's Magneto's son, don't you know?
And if you didn't know, he's Magneto's son.
You don't get told that in the film, but it's kind of hinted towards.
Yeah, I think it's kind of strongly hinted towards.
I think people might miss that if they didn't know.
Yeah.
They just think, oh, he because he
There's
says my mum used to knew a guy
who could
know a
control
guy.
metal. Yeah.
And then Magneto kind of does a look. People could just think Magneto is thinking, oh, he knows somebody like me.
Setting up a bad guy in the future, or a good guy, I guess.
Uber Magneto.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, him and evil Magneto, or whatever, the other Magneto, try and do a 69er, but they keep repelling.
Spinning on the spot.
Yeah, they're just going in massive circles on the floor, like Zoidberg when he's excited. Or Homer, even. You never know.
Yeah, I hope to live to see that one day, when they finally run out of ideas.
You are old and it could be a few years, you never know. But yeah, it's really good. I liked it all. I mean, do you remember we went to the cinema to see it, and Wolverine appears back in 1973, I think, maybe, I don't know, around there, naked, and there was a woman in front of us who was about 40 something and saw Wolverine or Hugh Jackman's arse and literally went, ah!
Yeah.
Like either she saw his arse or her love eggs kicked in, or I don't know. She was having a good time, whatever it was.
She enjoyed the film as well, I think. She left after that scene.
Up that cinema.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he's pretty ripped, you know, for his age and stuff.
Yeah, it's mental.
Yeah.
But
the veins are thicker than my wrist, you know, it's pretty gross.
Yeah, it was pretty horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the Quicksilver scene's amazing. I think the Quicksilver scene where he sort of, you know, pushes all the bullets out of the way like Bernard's watch. Well, a violent version of Bernard's watch.
When did that happen?
Well, you know, Bernard's watch, he stops time, and this basically stops time.
Yeah.
I think that's almost up there with the Nightcrawler attack on the White House in X-Men 2. And, you know, certainly up there with Magneto's escape in X-Men 2, where he's, like, doing the metal balls through the glass.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Well, the X-Men movies, 3 aside, are cool.
I like 3.
Yeah, well, you're wrong. Everyone thinks you're wrong. Nobody likes X-Men 3.
I actually quite like X-Men 3.
Yeah, well, you're wrong.
I just think it's really fun. And
yeah, it's not.
It's like an episode of Family Guy where even if loads of people die, everything's fine at the end of the episode, you know, like...
Yeah, but not everything was fine at the end of the episode. Well, it sort of was. That was the pointlessness of it. Everything at the end of X-Men 3 became undermined. The cure wasn't permanent. Professor X's body was in some comatose patient, because that makes sense.
Mind.
Whatever. People were moaning. People, like, getting nitpicky about the continuity because Wolverine's claws are now metal when they were bone at the end of the Wolverine.
Yeah.
And because if Professor X did stick his brain into somebody else's body, why is he still in a wheelchair? But it's like, if you can accept that a dying man has stuck his brain into the body of a dead man or a man in a coma, why can't you accept that that man might have fallen down the stairs again?
Yeah, at some point.
Yeah, might have slipped.
Yeah.
He's still got the chair. He probably wouldn't even bother trying to learn like the muscles and build them up again. Just stick me back in the chair. That's what I know.
Yeah, that's what I'm good at.
Although there is another theory that the reason he looks like Patrick Stewart is because he's using his psychic powers to make people think he looks like that, just so they don't get too freaked out that he's like a 50-year-old woman or something, like whatever he happened to beam his head into.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I think at the end of the day, it's just Bryan Singer going, I'm going to change everything I didn't like about X-Men 3. Can't really explain that one, so we'll just ignore it.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen. And rightly so. You know, he's doing Age of Apocalypse next, and I'm glad that he turned out not to be a paedophile and was allowed to make it, as was accused.
Oh dear.
Well, it's so good. It turns out there's one less paedophile in the world, but one more liar.
Happens a lot, doesn't it?
What, liars or paedophiles?
Both.
It does. If only we could go back in time and change that.
Ooh. Sticking his name.
Yeah. So yeah. Anything else to add? Did you?
Not really, to be honest. No. Did you think people got onto the whole Striker references and things?
Well, what do you mean the Striker references? You mean the bits where he said the Striker and then we got a flash of Brian Cox's face?
Yeah.
I reckon people probably got onto that.
Yeah, do you reckon?
I reckon people words. I reckon people probably believed what they could see. What do you think about?
You know who I liked?
Go on.
Which character I liked and who was underused?
Quicksilver.
Quicksilver's sister.
She wasn't in it.
Or Blink. Who's Blink?
That's not Quicksilver's sister.
Doesn't matter. Who's
Blink?
his sister?
That's the one that has like. Isn't Blink the one that had the portal power? Like,
Yeah,
in
yeah,
game
the little
Portal?
gems.
10
10 minutes already.
Yeah, but that wasn't his sister.
Who's the sister?
Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet. Yeah, Scarlet Witch.
Mhm.
Yes. Okay, fair enough. I didn't like her. I didn't see her. But I liked
No.
Blink and her powers. They were good. They were underused. I think that could have been used a lot more. But they were used well in the scenes that they were, where there was a big attack and stuff like that. And
Yeah, it was good.
really clever with the whole. It's like basically Portal. Well, they are portals, obviously, but
Yeah,
it's like the
Inception.
game Portal. So what you said.
Yeah.
I wasn't listening, to be honest. I was
No.
thinking of portals.
You were thinking of ways to say a really long sentence.
Yeah.
Well done.
You've already said it in a much shorter way.
Yes. So yes, that was X-Men: Days of Future Past, my second favorite film of the year, and my, it's just my greatest experience at the cinema this year. Just the final 5 minutes.
Of 10 years.
So yeah.
Excellent. Well, we're going to go now because I've said too little, and the little I've said has been rubbish, and you've said too much and has been boring. So
Wow, Graham's saying things the wrong way around.
really,
Yeah, I think so. Except the bit I talked about my history with the X-Men.
you did talk a lot.
I think it's relevant because it goes to show how much an emotional impact at the end of this film would have had on me.
To be fair, yeah, and there's other people who.
I was almost crying at the end.
Never mind.
Sorry, I just
I
realised.
guess I've got nothing to say at all of use, to anybody. No interest at all. You and Ellie crying. Who cares? Who cares? Is that how emotional? Really, you're crying?
Nelly. I would have cried if you hadn't been there.
Right. Okay.
Because I was just so happy
Mm.
and sad.
After
And it's
seeing
just
all
like,
your
it was
old
such,
friends.
I was overwhelmed by the end.
Mm.
Yeah, it was really good.
Give it a watch.
Yeah,
You enjoy it. You just go and enjoy it.
I agree. And if you don't enjoy it, I don't want to know you, you fucking freak.
Jesus. Okay. Bye now.
Bye.
What the hell? You're a bit horrible.
To you.
Just in general.